Touch everybody around you and tell them, I'm fighting to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you have one more fight in you?
Say, I'm moving forward.
An innovative, loving, orderly, vibrant, excellent church, 15 years in the making. This is behind the ministry, the City of Love. Lester Love and Francine Mitchell were both raised in Louisiana. God would order their steps to grow a ministry built on the power of His unconditional love.
I met Big Love in high school. This man used to walk around with business cards.
Lester Love from up above.
The man, the myth, the legend. Come on, how many people does that?
With no business. It was a business card with no business.
Oh, he was received very well, because I mean, he had a calling. Even at that moment, he had a calling on his life. He was the man, the myth, the legend.
You know, while we were in high school, he used to always emulate Bishop Martin. Wow, and everybody would look at him like, you ought to quit playing with God, man. Stop all that foolishness like that. But then once I would see him around Bishop Martin, whenever I would go around and he would be there, and he was serious about it, I was like, he started to mature. At LSU, that was during the time he met Pastor Fran, and I think Pastor Fran changed him a whole lot as well, made him a better guy.
After college, the couple would return home, marry, and begin a family. They also began to plant the seeds of their ministry at Greater St. Stephen.
Pastor Fran would always say, I was created for Lester Love. And she really was, because they would complement each other. They balanced each other. I remember when Bishop Love was preaching one time at Greater St. Stephen, she was sitting on the side. That time she wasn't in the front. That whole while, her eyes was on him, and she was interceding for him. That's an intercessor. When he was getting ready to come to Greater Antioch at that time, and we were getting ready to lose him, I stayed at Greater St. Stephen's. I think I came one time to visit, and it was cold. It was not Greater St. Stephen's.
I can remember that first time that he came in to preach. It was a Christmas service. It was December 23rd. Came into a cold and dreary looking church.
It was so cold, Bishop had a coat on. And he looked up and it was raining in the church. And Bishop was like, he thought Bishop Martin had cursed him sitting in here.
And that was a tremendous growth for us as a church. You know, and talk about tremendous, we could just say the numbers. We went from 17 to about 2,500, and I'm talking about months.
The ministry started growing just by leaps and bounds. I think it all started really changing when Bishop started singing love songs.
I don't want nothing at all. It ain't you, Jesus.
Some people fell along the way. They didn't really latch on to it, you know, really couldn't understand it. And of course, people were like, you know, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? And he's going to hell for singing love songs in the pulpit. He was reaching them on their level and then bringing them up to another level spiritually. Good life.
Bishop's desire was for us to grow, not just as far as a building, but to us to grow spiritually and become what God wanted us to be as people, as men and women of God. And that's his desire. He's always concerned about his congregation.
I will never forget that Sunday when he asked for everyone who had a call on their lives to come to the front. Pastor Fran did not move until he says, come on up here, honey, you belong up here. From then on, she's been running.
What can I do with God and losing?
A woman of prayer, a woman of power, a woman of authority in the spirit.
If you listen to how the people respond to her,
we always win. We always triumph.
When she hugs you, it's like you needed that at that moment.
The ministry continued to grow, swelling well beyond the capacity of its original building. Greater Antioch would find a new location and also a new name. They settled upon one appropriate for a church ministry known for its loving, non-judgmental atmosphere, the City of Love.
From the beginning, there's still that love that's here. It's so palpable.
No matter how many numbers that are in the church, there is a connection that Bishop is teaching just you.
The growth that I've experienced, I never would have had I not come here. I'm looking forward to the good life.
This man has took me into his family, showed me my way, and I thank him for it. I thank Pastor Fran, and I love both of them.
Very proud of them. They have a bunch of guys right now that went to college with us and high school with us. And I said, man, you really have to come see Lester. You really have to come to this church. And they'd be like, man, but that's Lester. I said, I know who it is. You will not believe the transformation that he's made into a man. And that's basically what it was. We were children back then, and now he's a man.
And I knew God was going to do great things with Lester Love and Francine Love. I knew it. He was anointed. To see them both as a team and how God is elevating them, all I can say is thank you, Jesus. But God is not through yet. And I love
the city of love.
City of love.
I love the city of love.